evening, everybody, and we have an amazing subject today that for some of us, fortunately, is also some pain in that subject that's called love in the family. So let's start first to understand that the word family, it's not just the immediate family. Family can be when like us, when we meet and we study together, it's like a family. And here there is something that the Torah talks about that it's so amazing to understand. It says, Ele Toldot, the name of the portion Toldot, Yitzhak ben Abraham, Isaac is the son of Abraham. The same sentence it says that Abraham gave birth to Isaac. The $1 million man gave birth to Isaac. So we need to understand really why they have to repeat it in the same sentence. Isaac, the son of Abraham. Abraham is the father of Isaac. Why that? So actually, it's everything that's going on even in our family on a daily basis, and also what's happening, with politics and everything. Even if I don't like and I'm not in politics, but I do hear words. This is the left and this is the right. And the left are more vicious and the right are nicer, and on and on. And also we do use the word that when a person is a little down, he says, I woke up on the left side. So when people are happy, they don't even say, I woke up on the right side. That's obvious. But when we wake up a little down, we say left. So kind of, we use the word left and right, left and right. And here it says that something that is really so important for us to understand. See, the portion before, it was the binding of Isaac. Means Abraham is the right, binding the left. But we're not supposed to understand that in everything. It's not about that the right have to totally just to bind the left. No. Supposed to make sure that in the left there is right and in the right there is left. They have to be together. See, when I'm doing this, you put your two hands together. This is the right and this is the left. The right in Hebrew is Yemin, start with Yud. Left in Hebrew, it means small, it's Shin. When you put them together, Yesh. And the word Yesh means there is, means the left and the right become one. And that's what we have to understand. If we be honest to ourselves and we don't take things just personally and we get offended and reactive, there is, even inside families, it could be the parents are more right, and it could be one of the kids or most of the kids are in the left. And what are you going to do now? Disown them? You're on the left, forget it. It's not that the left is right. Of course, whoever is left is going to say this is the right way and the right. No, it's supposed to be unity between those two. And that's really something that we have to understand. And actually, one of the reasons that we just got used to it, when we clap hands, one of the reasons really that the ancient teaching saying it means right and left, right and left, right and left. It means we are working together. That's really what it means. And usually when do we clap? When we are happy, when the right and the left together, this is really a unity, that's happiness. And here we want to start really understanding what this ancient book that we call Torah, that we call the manual book, is telling us things that actually we're going through them really almost every day, every year, through generation. So there is something that it says in this portion that Rebecca, after 20 years that she couldn't be pregnant, okay, she became pregnant. And it says also a clue what happened. Here, I'm going to read it, and it says, ויתר יצחק לשם לנוכח אשתו. נוכח, it means present. So I guess maybe he wasn't really present to receive the soul that's supposed to be his son, but actually Rebecca became pregnant and she had twins, not one pregnancy, two kids. But the Torah already saying that while those two fetus inside Rebecca, God is telling Rebecca, you have two nations. It says, you have two nations in your stomach. It didn't say womb. It says in your stomach. Two nations. Yeparedu, it means they're not going to be in unity. Already, before they are even born. What kind of, I mean, if you ask me, the Torah is supposed to give us like nice stories. I keep seeing, this one doing this, the first son, Cain, killed his brother, and so on. But really, it's not right the way we reading the Torah, and that's why we are studying it to really understand something to our own life, to understand what the manual book is really teaching us. So the first kind of session is that it says in the same sentence that Isaac loved Esau and Rebecca loved Jacob. Is that okay, really, for the Torah to tell us that there is love to one son and the father doesn't like Jacob, and then the mother loves Jacob, doesn't like Esau? I mean, really, that's really what they are teaching us? I don't think so. And then, it says that he was a hunter, Esau, and Jacob, actually, it says Yoshev Ohalim, he sits in the tent. Really, it means like sitting doing nothing is lazy, okay? Maybe it's hard for us to accept, but it is. Then it says that he's doing lentil soup. And here's the brother, they are twins, don't forget. You have to remove all the things that we have memory, like this is the bad one, this is the good one. Twins, both of them kids of Isaac and Rebecca, okay? And one is a hunter, comes hungry, and he's seeing the soup. I mean, if you think something is wrong, if he's a hunter, he wants to eat meat, not soup. But that's not what the Torah telling us. He wants soup. And what Jacob tells him doesn't make sense. You want soup? No problem. Sell me your birthright. What do you mean birthright? You are twins. So one came and then immediately the other one came. They're twins. What's the difference? 2 seconds? 1 minute? So he says, sell me the birthright. Can you sell a birthright? I don't think so. But that's what it says. And Esau says, despite his birthright, and he says, sure, I don't need it even. So we need to understand what happened. When we read the Torah, we need to put the puzzle together, really. Immediately after it says that it was hunger in Canaan, that today it's the state of Israel. And they had to go to Egypt, but God told Isaac not to go to Egypt. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is it was hunger. So it was hunger, it means they were poor. If they were poor, Esau doesn't care about whatever, because if I'm the firstborn, I'm going to get a little bit more. So he doesn't care about it because there is nothing to give him. He's not going to inherit anything. So you read it this way, and that's what really people think. And then Isaac is actually moving, instead of to Egypt, to a place that's called Gerar. So if you didn't know in Hebrew exactly this word, Gerar, it means tow truck. When you go to Israel and say Gerar, it's a tow truck. The towing cars that stuck. What kind of name is Gerar? And not like try to connect to a numerical value. No, exactly the word Gerar. He's moving to a tow truck, but that's the name of a place. Why? Why the Torah have to tell us about the name? And then when he goes, there is again a story like Abraham twice, that they telling Isaac, this king telling Isaac, is that your wife? He says, no, she's my sister. And he tells her, said that I'm your brother, so they don't kill me. Again the same story. I mean, come on, enough. What kind of order is going to write about the son and the father? No. So it's all codes, and all those codes is about family. Family, friends, neighbors, all kind of thing. Okay? And then the story goes also that Jacob cheated his brother by wearing kind of his clothes, and he goes to the father, he prepares some food, and he gives him the blessing. Instead of to Isaac, he gives the blessing to Jacob. Isaac comes upset. How come you give my blessing to? How do you know if I want to bless you? How do you know what blessing I want to give you? So how did Esau know that the blessing that Jacob received was his blessing? See, we got used to over thousands of years. We read the story, we know, yeah, Isaac blessed Esau. How do Esau knows what blessing is supposed? He can say, okay, you blessed my brother, now give me my blessing. And also, we have to ask a question, if that's so simple, that the father gives the blessing to his son and everything's going to go according to the blessing? So we're supposed to be okay. We don't even need the Torah. We're supposed to have few things, they're going to tell us, your father's going to bless you, you're going to do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 10 things that you're supposed to know. Forget the Torah, forget Zohar, forget Rabbi Ezekiel, forget all the tzaddikim that wrote books. It's not just give blessing. We actually need to understand much deeper really what the Torah is talking about. This portion, of course, there is other portions too, but this portion specifically talks about the love that we're supposed to have with the family, but not the way some of us understand, because you see, we playing games. I just talked to some people. The minute there is money involved, for example, they would kill each other. So we have to understand love in the family is nothing to do if they get money and they're going to inherit money or not or whatever. Love in the family, it's all connected to reincarnation. It's all about reincarnation. Because we have to ask, do you really know why you were born for those two people that call parent? Do you know why you have no sister, no brother? Or do you know why you have sisters and brothers? Do you know why you have only brothers or only sister or only whatever? All those questions. We don't. We accept it as is. We don't ask. And we're supposed to. And love in the family, it's all about reincarnation. Why I'm saying it? Because Rabbi Ziegler is saying that I cannot understand it the way I want. Actually, the main and the biggest tikkun people have, it's in the family. Because why should I get a tikkun in China when I live in Israel or in the United States? How am I going to do my tikkun if some people there? It's supposed to be exactly where I am. Exactly. And that's why there is so much problems. Some kids abuse the mother or abuse the father or abuse both of them. Some kids hate each other. So it's just, I don't believe there is even one family, one, that they don't have problem. They don't believe. Even Abraham said that his nephew had a fight with him. He told him, where you want to go? This way, I'm going to go the other way. Okay, so we need to know the biggest tikkun. So we need to understand reincarnation. It means that soul, that person that is born, he was born to that father and mother, that they are actually the vessel. What does it mean, the vessel? They are not different than a delivery truck. Yes, the parents, delivery. And we use the word delivery. What does it mean? This universe, this, what we call some people God, the light of the creator, or Elyon, the upper light, is using the one of those, mothers, and the hashgacha, the supervision, seeing what's better connection to do the tikkun for this soul. It's better with those parents, not with those parents. So that soul goes to exactly where it's supposed to be. And that's why when we say fetus in Hebrew, we say ubar. In Hebrew, ubar, it means moving from here to here, like delivery. It's like avar, who is moving from here. It means he's in the, call it, basket of souls. I mean, he moves from energy that is part of God, one part of God, is moving to a body. He's locked. It's like he's in a way, he's going into a jail that it's the body. Without it, the person cannot do his tikkun, cannot do his correction. And those parents supposed to deliver that soul and to help that soul to understand what does it mean love. Why the parents have to see, not just to love, to show them the way they live their lives, what's love, so they can give it to their kids. And then sometimes we look at our kids, they don't know how to give love to the grandkids. Now the grandfathers and the grandmothers want to interfere. Now the kid says, it's not your kids, don't say anything. It's unbelievable. Now, what happened? You raised me, now it's my time to raise my kids, don't get involved. You made mistake, too late. That's who I am today. Love is not just to give a person, let's say, money or here a car or whatever. That's not love. This is physicality. It's nothing to do with love. We think it is, but it's not. Love, it's like the force of God that called love. We have to give it to the person that called a kid since day one. And that's what here it says, that we have an like responsibility to teach and to give love to the kids. Hayeled, if you understand the words in Hebrew, yalad, it means to give birth. you change the vowel, Yeled, it's mean a kid. Nolad, it means is born. So all those words, it's not exactly as we understand them, not even in Hebrew. Many people, I spoke Hebrew all my life, but I never understood really the meaning. There is blood relation. Part of the nefesh of the father, part of the nefesh of the mother goes to the kid. And I'm not going there too deep because we're never going to study reincarnation, we'll understand. So we have to understand there is a connection, blood connection, they call it, mean between the nefesh. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter who is those people that call parents. They are educated or not. You see, some parents are not educated, they have genius in the house. Or the opposite. The opposite. The father and the mother are amazingly educated and the kids bum. So it's according to the soul. And we have to understand that the blood relation is nothing to do, the nefesh is nothing to do with my education. And that's why when we're talking about love in the family, it's supposed to be very powerful, very strong, without any limitation. It's supposed to be unconditional. The love in the family, it's actually, I can tell you, it's like a gift from God. And I hope we understand it. This love, it means usually normal people, most of us, will do anything for this. And by the way, especially at the time of Corona, suddenly people are more connected to family because really there is no one to connect to. So the connection with the family became stronger, you know, we miss each other. So thank you, Corona, for bringing us closer. It's crazy. So the family love, the love in the family, it's the love that you grow with it together, supposed to be without judgment. You know, I can tell you when I grew up, we were 3 kids in the beginning. Later on, we were 6, but we were 3 kids for a while. Okay, like between me and the 4th one, 6 years. So for a while, and the kids had only 1 room, and the parents had 1 room. That's it. And we have another room to play. So we didn't have, like most people today have, every kid 1 room. You know what happened? It doesn't help the kids to be in unity. They start teaching the kids without even paying attention to hatred, without calling it hatred. Of course, we think hatred is when you hate and you hurt someone. No, hatred, it means I don't care about anybody else except me. So what they teach them, this is your room, you put your sign already. There is a sign on the door. This is my room. And the name, and everything inside the room, my computer, mine. And then what happened when they grow up? Same thing, it's all mine. Yeah, you my brother, my sister, who cares? I grew up like this, I'm staying like this. It's not easy to love brother and sister. And more than that, I can tell you, parents can raise 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, I don't care how many. And let's stay with the 10. 10 cannot raise 2 parents. It's unbelievable how we have no appreciation. And this portion, this mindset that we're supposed to have, it's to stick and to appreciate the love in the family. And that's why when it's supposed to be like, you know, look really, kind of, maybe they don't know how to do it, most of them, but the parents wants to see the kids happy, and they want to see them together. Okay, they want to see them together. You understand? You always wants to see them kind of, we call it unity, together. But what's the problem? Let's say you got upset that your son or daughter, and it doesn't matter what son, your few, did something wrong according to your perception. You know what most people do? They go to another part of the family, to the other brother or whatever. They say, you know what your brother did? Just by saying it, you created separation. You know that the parents not supposed to say to the kids ever, by the way, ever, nothing. Your brother did this, your sister did this, your other brother, the older brother did this, the younger brother. We're not supposed to say not the good and not the bad. We just have to say, did you call your brother? When did you see him last? Things like that. Or to say, hi, how are you? La, la, la. Oh, I saw your brother today. You know, maybe I'll come see you tomorrow. So it's like always to create unity, not by forcing it, but don't ever call someone or meet one of your kids and tell them, especially about something wrong about the other brother or sister, ever. And that's what this portion is telling us. We, 4,000 years after, we're looking at Abraham, Isaac, later on Jacob. They are the matriarchs, not just a level of a tzaddik. They are the highest. 7 highest level ever. We're sitting here in New York City or any city in the world, and we're judging Isaac and Rebecca because they have one kid that is the twin of Jacob that is bad. I'm sorry for any person that is thinking this way. Because even if you think about anybody, it means you're judging God because God created that person. So imagine, really, I can sit here today and say, this Esau, forget it. Oh, Jacob, yeah. Why? Why? You really believe when we're going to go later on, we're going to study that it says that Jacob loved Rachel and he hated Leah because it says Leah snu'ah. Really? You believe so? So I don't need to read the Torah anymore if they teach me about a husband hating. And also, how come we're going to study about it? What does it mean you get married with 2? And then you take the mistresses of your wife, the other one, and the other one, and you have kids from all of them, and Bnei Israel? Really? Wow. We need to wake up already and not to judge. We're reading the Torah to teach us how to have love in us, how to have unity in us, and we're sitting here and judging the story in the Torah. This part that we have within, that we call neshama, it's chelek Elokai mima'al. It's part of God from above. And inside this part, this what we call chelek, part of God from above, neshama, it's already in the word love. Don't forget, when you take twice love, 13 and 13, it's 26. It's the name of God. The Yud Kevavke, it's 26. And that's why we say before the Shema Israel, we say Pa'amayim ba'ava, twice love. So love in the family, it's the gift of God. We need to understand, what does it mean? It's supposed to be natural. It's part of the neshama. It's already in the neshama, in the ruach, in the nefesh. It means in the blood of the person. So the love that we're supposed to have, It's not about just hugging and kissing. It's to understand that even if there is a mistake that one did in the family, we're supposed to forgive. And you know, there is some families that have hatred to each other for years. Some even died already, and they never corrected it. And come on, love in the family, it's not just to understand the idea of love. No, it's not the idea of love. It's love. It's not the same love as, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife. No, even if husband and wife is family, but we need to understand what's the family that I myself was born in. Because if you don't, how are you going to raise your kids? According to what kind of love? The love in the family is supposed to be pure, tehora. Family, people in the family, it's like the foundation of this building, of the city, of the country, of the world. Those columns of Bet HaMikdash, the holy temples, what's those columns? It's the right and the left, Yachinu Boaz. It's Netzach Vehod. So it means they are strong there to support. It means it doesn't matter what's going to happen to me. I can always run to my family and they're supposed to accept that person, that me, even if I made mistakes. Because there is no one in this world that really trying to understand that. Why? Because we're taking the whole thing that called family for granted. You know why? Because I have it already. It's so funny that we appreciate more what we don't have. We're supposed to appreciate what we have. So this love cannot have condition. Now there is this, so the story here, what do we need to understand about the story? So we're seeing a story, Jacob, Esau, whoever got used to the story already hate Esau. Whoever got used to the story, he loves Jacob. And we don't pay attention that how dare we can even judge anyone in the Torah. And what does it mean, all those names? Really, you really believe that those names is just names to say, you know, names of Isaac or Abraham or Jacob? Really? You believe that that's the meaning, just a name to call a person, come here or go there? What's the meaning of, for example, Isaac? What's the meaning? I mean, where do we get really the understanding of not just tzahaka, Sarah? It's not about, yes, laughter, no, it's nice. Yitzhak, tzahak, means to laugh. It's beautiful. But Yitzhak, tzahak is without yud. Tzahak, it means just to laugh. But with the yud, Yitzhak, it means I will laugh in the future. If you know Hebrew, tzahak, it means in the past. Yitzhak means I will laugh. So what kind of name is it? No, it's not about that. It's all about the force inside the name. Because Yitzhak, it means that the name is 8 times the name of God. When you say Jacob, it's twice Amen. Because really there is twice Amen. One it's for the Kaddish and one for regular blessings. One it goes from right to left, one it goes from left to right, whoever knows it. I don't want to go there too much, but we need to know, not just to say Amen, it's to connect the two worlds together, the word Amen. So the minute we know the whole idea is all the names, because when you go to Sukkot and they do Ushpizin, what are you doing? What do you mean Ushpizin? Ushpizin, it means that not only in Sukkot, on a daily basis, okay? Let's say you really want to be a sharing person, you borrow the name Abraham. You borrow him and he become part of you and you can share because this is the grace, Chesed LeAvraham. Okay, but let's say there is some kind of sexual wrong way to do something, then you have to borrow Joseph because really she seduced him and he wanted her. It's not that he didn't want her. And he undressed himself and then he ran away because to run away, you know, it's like he wanted her. It's not that he didn't want her. Not to want someone, there is no gabrut. You're not supposed to be strong. So the thing is that the person have to understand that you know it's not exactly as we read it. Just Joseph, you know, he went to prison for something he didn't do. So here it's the same thing. Here we have Esau that we judge. Here's Jacob that we judge even on the good way. He's good and this is bad. I don't think that's a place of anybody to judge anybody. Not then and not today, especially no one in the Torah. Because if we judge something in the Torah and we say even a crack in the letter of the Torah, the Sefer Torah Pasul, a crack in the letter. So now you're judging a complete name? We're supposed to understand it's about the level of the soul. Everything is about the level of the soul. And everything is about the love. So what does it mean? My mind is already stuck seeing Esau is bad. That's the problem that we have today. When you have a problem with your brother or your sister or someone, even father or mother, it's stuck also. And you're sure you're right. Absolutely sure you're right. And you hate them. And you can go for 20 years and even more. Some people, I said, they died and they still hate the other person. If we can start seeing that there is a different angle and we cannot judge Esau anymore, then we're going to start seeing someone that we have a problem. We're going to start seeing that there is no problem. It's all in your mind. It's about your ego. You think you're better than someone else? Who are you to think that you can judge anybody? And that is the love in the family. It's to wake up. You can't stay too long in whatever you think you're right. It's the worst thing to be right. You have to ask yourself, what do you want to be? Wise or right? I think wise is better. So release yourself. You know, just release yourself. Stop being stubborn about what you're sure that you are right. Stop. For thousands of years, we're seeing those two brothers as hatreds. So if it is, why should we, look around and we see why it's supposed to be always different parties and people in this state are more this way, in the other state this way, and in Israel there is Ma'arach and Likud, and why do we have to have always to be separated to see who we're going to vote for, even to vote. Why can't we vote for what's good for my country, not to vote for a person? Why can people be wise already to step up? What's good for my country? It's going to be good for me and for my kids. Not just good for one person to be, it's not about who's going to lead the country. Because who's choosing the person? The majority. And then if that person did something wrong, you have to blame yourself. You can't blame the person that the people elected. You have to understand, people elected that person. So always the majority is going to be the blame, really, not one person. So it's funny how it is. We elect the person and then we judge the person. No, judge yourself. You elected the person. What's the difference between a person, you have a business, people working for you, and you get angry at one of the people that working for you. You know what? You are more stupid than you think so, because you paying the person that you are angry at. You understand? You paying a person's salary and you're angry at the person. Let him go. Don't be angry. You paying a person to do wrong things in your business? You chose the person. So it doesn't matter how it goes. We always have to see the right picture, not the twisted one. Our mind got corrupted totally. We don't see what's the difference between me and my opponent. Most people don't even see the difference between this and that. We have argument all the time inside our head. The same thing as you have Esau and Jacob. So when he came to give him the blessing, what Isaac said, Hakol kol Yaakov, ve'adayim yedei Esav. Says, wait a minute, the voice is Jacob and the hands are the hands of Esau. So we are so smart, right? We say, wow, Isaac recognized that? Wow. I mean, if he's a matriarch, one of the highest level ever been exist in this world, we're sitting here and we think he's stupid. Really? He doesn't know that really Jacob sitting in front of him? You know Jose Miluvlin, one of the richest person 250 years ago at the time of the Baal Shem Tov, he was blind. That's why they call him Jose Miluvlin. He could see more than anybody that had eyes. And he's not even 10% of Isaac. He was blind, he couldn't see everything. And Isaac could not see that it's Jacob sitting in front of him. That's how we read the Torah. Look at us. Wow. Look what it says. Wow, Isaac can't even figure it out. They cheated you. That's what they teach us. You cheat. And really a father gives a blessing and that's it. So we need to wake up and to understand it's to teach us first the problem in everything, especially in the family, because it's all about the mother and the father. The father loves Esau, the mother loves Jacob. It's all about to teach us how to stop to use the mind. We need to use the heart. The heart is the love. When they did I Love New York, they didn't do I, brain, and then New York. They did I, heart, New York. So why, if we know heart is love, why are we using the brain? Can't use the brain for love. And we do, unfortunately. Those two kids, they are twins, and they are the kids of Isaac and Rebecca. We have to respect them equally, because then discrimination says there is no better, there is no worse. Everything is equal. In the eyes of God, everybody is equal. The problem is with us. And if we don't see people equal, we don't see our kids equal, we don't see different people, brothers and sisters, whatever, equal, it's a problem. And so this portion is saying that our vision got corrupted and we stuck, in some level, and we need to start changing it. This portion is saying clearly, we have to remove the hatred. We have to remove all those filters that we have in our vision, and we have to start seeing Esau, that who's Esau? It's one of my brother, one of my sister, maybe a neighbor, maybe we have to start seeing the good in every person. The minute you see a good in someone, you're going to amplify your good. If you see the bad, you're amplifying your bad too. So to practice, to create, why they say Chodesh? In Hebrew, Chodesh, it's the same exact word as Nu, Hadash. Just the Vav, two dots, different. It's already totally different word. One is Nu, one is Chodesh. We're supposed to renew ourselves. You can't stay with someone that told you 10 years ago something and you're so upset at them because you got offended, and forever you despise those people. No. So what does it mean that he told him, sell me the birthright for a lentil soup? This is something so amazing. Every time we get angry, we sell the birthright. It means I sell the light of my soul. For lentil soup, it means for nonsense, for nothing. This is the birthright of everyone. It's the nefesh, ruach, and neshama. I cannot sell it for nothing. Every time we get angry, it's the lentil soup. Every time we react, it's the lentil soup. Every time we get argument for nonsense, it's like I'm selling myself, the real me, my soul, for nothing. And that's what actually Esau is teaching us. He despised his soul, he didn't care about it. But he's also at the same time teaching us why there is a sentence, Mikol melamda iskalti, I can study from anybody, even if someone doing something wrong is teaching me. Not only the person that's doing something right. And that's why the whole thing of Isaac praying, but it doesn't say praying, nochach, he was present, and because he was present, she got pregnant, means to understand that we have more control than we think. That's why God told Abraham, go count the stars. It means sfar, it means limit. You need to limit the forces that of the stars over you. Same thing here. We look at the Torah, they look at, we're looking at that and we're saying, oh, wait a minute. So that's what I have to do. So why did Isaac had to move to Gerar? What's Gerar? Really, if you know Hebrew, Gerar, it means tow truck. But what's Gerar is when a person is lazy and is drugging himself. That's Gerar too. We say gorer et atzmo. Means it's like, how are you? I'm okay. How do you? Okay. It's like everything you do, it's like you're doing a favor. We need to be excited. We need to be enthusiastic. We need to be happy about everything that we do. We have to wake up in the morning and says, wow, another amazing day. Modeh ani lefanecha. You know what? Thank you for believing in me that today I can do something better than yesterday. That's what we have to do. Be excited about every day. Don't waste it for nothing. Don't sell it for lentil soup. And this is so amazing to understand. We need to concentrate more on the new, not on the old. We're so busy with the old stuff that it's dwelling in our mind forever. So you think any one of us were born in whatever family by mistake? You think you were born there by mistake? So if you say no, so it means there is ashgaha, there is a purpose, there is supervision that brought me there for a purpose. So there is no mistake with Esau, no mistake with Jacob. Jacob was lazy, so what he had, the whole situation pushed him away because Rebecca told him, your brother wants to kill you. So he ran away. Now he had to be independent. And how do we know? Later on, you'll see what it says. Suddenly, the first time that the Torah used the word work, that Jacob had to work for Rachel, but he received Leah. We'll talk about it next time. But just to think about the word work, why do they have to tell us about Jacob? They never said the word work about Esau because he was lazy, Esau was not. But Esau was, it says, tzayid bepiv. He was hunter in his mouth. What does it mean? We have to know there are some people that are so good in their mouth. So good. They hunt people. And in the end of the portion, what did he do, Esau? He got married to two women that Isaac and Rebecca were not happy about. So tell me, why they tell us another part of the story doesn't have me? No, it does. When kids are upset at the parents, they do things to punish the parents, but really they punish who? Themselves. We need to study to understand what's love. We cannot do things that we're not even aware. Why the kid's supposed to punish me? In the meantime, he punishes himself. And that's what happened to Esau. He thought he's going to punish his parents by doing something that they don't like. Many kids doing it in this world. Many kids. And it's our responsibility to understand love is not just to hug and to kiss or to buy something. In different age, different things. No. It's to let them see how we behave. Let them see how really we see the world and how we make sure that they become independent, not dependent. That's the love. And this love that we understand, not to sell that love, not to sell this love that inside the soul for lentil soup, for nothing, this love brings the bracha. Because if you know Hebrew, Bechorah, it means, Bechor in Hebrew, it means the firstborn. Bechorah, it means what we said, sell me the Bechorah, the birthright. If you look at the words, two letters, the middle two letters, if you replace them, it's bracha. Bechorah, beracha. You change the resh and the chaf. It becomes bracha. You put the chaf, the resh after, it's bechorah. Don't sell your blessing for nothing. Sometimes people don't understand why they lose everything. It's because they sell their blessing, the soul, this light that we have inside, this love, for nothing. And sometimes we do mistakes, but we have to understand, we are here, it says, Hakol tzafui v'hareshut netuna. Everything is there, and we have the permission to correct it. So wake up, we can correct anything, and we can bring this love back. First, it has to be inside. If I have it, I can give it, because you cannot give what you don't have. And the minute you give it and you have it, it touches everything in your life, your health, your business, or whatever you touch. You don't have it, then you don't have it. And that's the beauty that we have in this portion. Don't drug yourself. Don't sell the light within you, your neshama, for nothing. you have to understand what does it mean, why they call it Iso. Iso in Hebrew is Ain Shin Vav. It means la'asot, to do, the word of action. What does it mean, the Kol Yaakov? The voice comes from above. So they're telling us the voice is good, but the action is good too. We need to put them together. That's what we call it Ziranpin and Malchut. We have to connect those two. We have to complete each other. We're not supposed to hate each other. It's to complete each other. It's in everything we do. And then everything is going to work. And then the left and the right going to be one. And Isaac and his father that bind him became one. And Abraham, he's the father of Isaac, and Isaac is the son of Abraham. The right and the left, and the left and the right. And it's supposed to be in everything. In family, in business, in nations. That's why it says you have two nations in your stomach. I mean, we're supposed to help everything to put them in unity, in love, and everything. So you're going to have the blessing, the chorah, it's the bracha. So Be'ezrat Hashem, we're all going to have the bracha, especially that we are in the month of miracles, Hanukkah, right? Whoever is Sagittarius, it's still the beginning of the month. This is the first Shabbat, Toldot, of the month of Kislev. So we can all, sit on this Shabbat and meditate for, to bring the love, to be happy and just put it together. And Bli Ayin Hara, it happened to be this year because it moves a little bit. Hey Bekislev is the Hebrew calendar. It's Vigi's birthday. So it's coming this Shabbat. So Bli Ayin Hara, we're going to the city to be with Yaakov. So I really hope that we all have lots of bracha. We're not going to sell our birthright, it means our blessing, for nonsense, for lentil soup. So please reach out to each other, help each other. And if you have a little problem here and there with someone in the family, it's about time. Reach out, change it. It's in your hand.